Hey everybody, it's Party Elite with another episode of Total Breakdown. Today we've got another battle from the ongoing tournament at Clan Community, this time between Klayton's Warriors of Chaos and Samurai Warriors Greenskins. Remember to check out Clan Community for tons of competitive play by hitting the link in the description below. The Warriors of Chaos are led by a Chaos Lord in the air with a Potion of Toughness, joined by a Chaos Sorcerer of Death, flying in with Life Leeching, Spirit Leech, and Arcane Conduit. 4 units of Chaos Marauders and 5 units of Forsaken were probably expecting a Savage Orc build, and the Chaos Chariot and Gorpy's Chariot will have a field day up against the Greenskins if they come in with large numbers of infantry. Finally, 2 units of Chaos Knights and the Chaos Warhounds with Poison will do well against Greenskin Cavalry and can then provide support with rear charges into frontline engagements. The Greenskins are led by Wurzag, the Great Green Prophet, coming in on piggyback with the Power of Dewa, Warpaint of Wurzag, Bonewood Staff, Fists of Gork, Here We Go, Foot of Gork, Wa, and Effigy of the Git, or Effigy, however Greenskins pronounce that word. 2 units of Savage Orcs, 2 units of Orc Biggins, and 3 units of Savage Orc Biggins come in alongside 2 units of Black Orcs to form an infantry line that can cause a lot of damage to armored and enemy large units, but rely heavily on damage resistance to survive. The Rusty Arrows will help reduce enemy armor, while the Forest Goblin Spider Riders and the 2 units of Orc Boarboy Biggins will look to shut down enemy cavalry. Alright, as always, we're going to start with a conversation about deployment, and as you can see, both sides keep it relatively simple this time around. So let's start with the Warriors of Chaos. Up front, you can see we have all of the Chaos Marauders. They are a little spaced out, though, and the Chaos Chariot as well as the Gorpy's Chariot take up some of those gaps. And these guys are able to push up nice and early, get some of those initial charges in, and so when the Chaos Marauders actually push in, they might end up getting side or rear charges depending on how the chariots perform. Right behind them also, we have these Forsaken. They can push in through the gaps, or alternatively, just push in through the lines and come in from the flanks and rear charges as well to get some extra morale damage. And these guys are pretty fast, so they can really get those maneuvers working pretty well. On either flank, we do have the Chaos Knights, again able to push out, shut down enemy cavalry, or of course come in with flanking maneuvers of their own, and obviously supported by the Chaos Warhounds with Poison. These guys can do a lot of work together. Chaos Warhounds with Poison can also come into the front lines afterwards, provide some support wherever necessary with that poison damage, while the Chaos Lord and the Chaos Sorcerer are up in the air back here, able to provide some magical support obviously, but also dive in, get some blood on their hands, and get some damage done as well. Now let's take a look at the Greenskins. Now, a relatively simple layout, like I mentioned, but a little curious in its overall positioning, let's say. The Savage Orcs take up either flank of the front line, while the center is more anti-large. We've got the Orc Biggins on either side, with the Savage Orc Biggins right in the middle. Back here, we do have Wurzag, again, using his Warpaint to provide some support to the units nearby, while these Savage Orc Biggins are both back here, able to dive in and provide support wherever necessary in the front lines, or join the the Orc Boarboy Biggins in their quest to shut down enemy cavalry, or obviously protect the Rusty Arrows, who are up here to provide some range support. All the way at the back, we do have these 2 units of Black Orcs, again able to push forward wherever necessary, or try and shut down any flanking maneuvers that are coming in from the sides, while obviously on either flank, we do have the Orc Boarboy Biggins looking to shut down enemy cavalry, and the Forest Goblin Spider Riders as well, looking to support these guys, or potentially come in for frontline engagements and provide some support there instead. So, again, relatively simple from both sides, but let's see how it all breaks down as the battle does commence. Immediately, you'll see the Warriors of Chaos do begin to push forward, and the Greenskins aren't going to shy away from a conflict either, obviously, so they do get aggressive in just a moment. We're going to skip ahead ever so slightly, just because the starting is just these 2 armies pushing towards each other, as you can expect them to do. And as that happens, right away from the get-go, we see the Chaos Sorcerer of Death pushing forward to get a little bit of early aggression in. Completely justifiable, however, a little bit of a mistake here. So, Wurzag has been hit by Spirit Leech. Unfortunately, though, it was overcast, and there was really no reason to do that. Overcasting Spirit Leech just extends the cast range, and Wurzag was very much reachable by the Chaos Sorcerer who's up in the air, so bit of a bad call there, some Winds of Magic wasted, but as that's happening, you'll notice at the back here as well, these Chaos Warhounds with Poison are shifting their position. They don't want to be on this right flank because they'll be up against the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, which will be a rough spot for them, so they'd rather be on this side over here and support these Chaos Knights in their endeavor against this unit of Orc Boarboy Biggins instead. Now you'll see the Chaos Sorcerer of Death is pulling back into some safety, just in case there is some range support there, not performing any scouting, and now pulling back in their entirety, while the Forest Goblin Spider Riders over here as well, changing flanks to provide support to this same left flank. Now the Warriors of Chaos, again, holding still, waiting for the Greenskins to get a little bit closer, maybe just to stay back and wait for more Winds of Magic to regenerate, but now we see some aggression once more, pushing forward and the chariots especially, you'll see, have been given the order to attack first. So again, these guys are trying to get in to the front lines and cause a little bit of disarray nice and early so that the Chaos Marauders can actually push in with some rear and side charges. And take a look at the Chaos Chariot over here. Pushes through that unit of Orc Biggins, but a very dangerous spot because these Savage Orc Biggins are right back there, and they're actually able to bog these guys down. Meanwhile, the Gorbeast Chariot on the right flank is able to push through and turn around and try and take care of these Savage Orc Biggins themselves. So decent micromanagement there, but this was very risky on the left flank over here, allowing this unit of Chaos Chariots to get caught up by all three of these units over here and getting shut down, while the Gorbeast Chariot is actually able to navigate through this area and push into the Rusty Arrows instead and cause a lot of damage. Take a look at that as they ride right through the Rusty Arrows there and devastate those guys. They're not willing to fight anymore. Meanwhile, the Chaos Chariot is able to escape and pushes into the Black Orcs over here. On either flank, meanwhile, you'll see the Chaos Knights are up against the Orc Boar Boy Biggins over here, and on the left as well, that charge is about to take place. The Chaos Knights are going to do much better than the Orc Boar Boy Biggins, and you can see that happening right here on this flank. The Chaos Knights have taken barely any damage, while the Orc Boar Boy Biggins are falling apart. The Black Orcs over here are pushing forward to try and provide some support, especially since the Chaos Marauders are here and they can be very quickly taken care of. While over here you'll see Wurzag does activate Wa to try and keep this core alive, and the Chaos Lord as well growing very confident, diving into Wurzag to cause some damage there and take care of him once and for all. We did have another Overcast Spirit Leech on Wurzag earlier, but that was completely unnecessary once more since the Chaos Sorcerer of Death was right there. And meanwhile, on this left flank you'll see we do have the Foot of Gork coming in, something we can always expect when the big Wa is on the field. And so targeting the Chaos Knights here, trying to shut that down nice and early, get it taken care of so the Orc Boar Boy Biggins will have freedom on the battlefield. Unfortunately though, it was slightly misplaced, and the Stomp comes in and completely destroys both units. The Orc Boar Boy Biggins are completely devastated. The Chaos Knights take just a little bit less damage than the Orc Boar Boy Biggins actually, and so as a result of that, as the smoke clears, you can see the Orc Boar Boy Biggins actually completely give up and they start to shatter. So the Chaos Knights have actually won there, assisted by the Greenskins. Meanwhile, in the center, you'll see Wurzag continues to try and provide some support with damage resistance and Wa active, while in the middle, though, the Savage Orcs are shattering. The Rusty Arrows are not able to provide any range support anymore. Here we go does go out on the Rusty Arrows, and that was a bit of a mistake, obviously trying to keep them alive, I think, during the melee engagements, but since they are routing, that support leaves with them. The Chaos Knights, meanwhile, just cleaning up, even though not necessary, able to come in and chase now, while the Chariots themselves are going up on cleanup duty alongside these Chaos Warhounds with poison, just shutting down these departing units to make sure that they're not able to come back and return to the fight. While you'll see over here, we do have the Chaos Chariot pushing in, trying to shut these Savage Orcs down once and for all, alongside the Gorbeast Chariot there. Chaos Sorcerer of Death does need to pull away into some safety because he did take a little bit of damage there, while the Chaos Knights here taking care of the Forest Goblin Spider Riders and the Chaos Lord popping Potion of Toughness just to stay alive, stay secure, and dive into Wurzag to try and kill him and take care of the battlefield. Meanwhile, over here you'll see these Black Orcs getting completely shut down with charges from all sides, devastating them. They're able to hold their own against infantry, but with some cycle charging they will be taken care of relatively easily, while up here you'll see again all of these units are beginning to shatter, and a close victory for the Warriors of Chaos. Now this was a very quick battle, and in some ways it was a result of composition, but even when going in with the Greenskin army as it was, they stood a chance. If the non-armor piercing units were used to flank and come in with rear and side charges, while the armor piercing Black Orcs held the line, damage to morale and health would be far more significant. The Orc Boar Boy Biggins were also poorly managed. They really needed some help to take care of the Chaos Knights, and a bad Foot of Gork sealed the deal for the Greenskins. But if they were able to get into the backs of the Warriors of Chaos, they would have stood a chance. As always, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more Total War content and keep sending in those battle replays. I do think it's one of the best ways to learn, and it's always nice to highlight great battles from the community at all skill levels. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.